Are we live? We're live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning into SEO Career Mastery. Myself, Darius, and Jay are coming from Ireland. So I'm back in Ireland, where we grew up, working alongside each other, which is quite fun. Everyone say hey.
Hello, how are we? Hope everybody's having a great week.
Shreya, you gonna say hey?
Hey, I'm down in sunny Cape Town.
It's not sunny. Every time Shreya tells us about the weather, there's a hurricane, there's a sewage pipe burst, there's a tornado.
There's no water or no chicken.
Yeah, we're having a good day today.
But anyway, we thought we'd do a team SEO for Hire team webinar today, just because we've got a lot of things going on. Hopefully you guys like listening to us. Probably don't. But yeah, we've got a few fun internal projects that we're doing, and we've got a few events that are coming up. So I thought it'd be fun to just basically update everybody on where we all are and what we're doing. Craig he's in Cape Town as well at the minute. Not Cape Town, Hermanus in South Africa. He's taking a few days off to basically stay on a farm, which looks absolutely beautiful. But yeah, exciting month for SEO for Hire, and I think for the whole SEO industry. I think August was one of our quietest months. It was getting scary that we could actually just hear the crickets 24/7. So yeah, this week, last week we've seen things pick up a lot more. This week we're back on track, but I've got a really good feeling in my gut, and I've heard of it from people like Eli Schwartz, Anthony Barone from Studio Hawk was saying about it recently as well, that basically I think the whole SEO job industry is going to boom again.
It's already started.
So yeah, we're kind of seeing it on our side. We've got quite a few clients signed the last week and last week as well. So yeah, a lot of roles coming your way. But one thing that myself and the team have been doing a lot of work into for nearly 4 or 5 months now is our SEO Leadership Playbook. So hopefully we're going to be able to release that on Monday, crossing fingers. But yeah, Shreya, you've been active in it a lot. Do you want to give a bit of an insight, kind of like an overview of what it is?
Yeah, sure. So it started off as the inception of we wanted to do a course to help SEO team leads and managers help them along their journey and have it cover a variety of topics, from soft skills to managing tough things in the workplace, such as how to appropriately fire someone or let someone go, how to actually manage a team, how to motivate them. As you posted today, we are covering common vision and things like that. So it's a jam-packed course that we've actually built up now to over 85 plus modules that are in it, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And yeah, we are starting to sort of define it now as a leadership playbook that's your lifelong companion. It can serve you in any point in your career journey as a team lead, from beginner stages to more senior positions. And yeah, it's really crazy and awesome to see how it's evolved over the past few months. And it's also just been parallel as we're growing, what we're learning along our way from SEO for Hire, and how we can best advise team leads from both, managing client side and managing candidate side, and having this like neutral perspective of what benefits both parties involved. So yeah, we're very excited to have it be released. There's a lot of different topics that we cover, but we also have a really great variety of references as well, from other fellow SEOs that we've spoken to in the industry, to podcasts that we've had over the past few months leading up to this, clients and candidates that we've spoken to, and also other courses that we've just been doing ourselves. So it's really such a fulfilling thing, and excited to finally have it go live.
Yeah, well, I think the idea the idea of where it was born was basically we're all chatting to SEOs all the time. We're always on the phone to SEOs. And obviously we're an SEO recruitment company, so it's normally people that are looking for new jobs or people that are looking to build their actual SEO team. The one thing that kind of stood out, and that's kind of where this was born, was the amount of SEOs that don't leave their job because it's bad company or something like that. It's always poor managers. Like that's always the case. It's like, oh, I was sold the dream. I went in, did this, and I just can't stand working with this person anymore, or anything like that. And there's no negativity or anything in the course, but the whole idea is you get the normal promotions if you work hard. But is there somewhere or a blueprint or just resource where you can go to become effective with management, with leadership, with everything? So the idea is we've covered everything we can about this. We've used our network to go through and kind of get their points on it. So I think it's going to be really, really beneficial. And I think as well, it's like, even me, I'm not in SEO doing SEO work, but I've gone through it and I've looked at it and I'm like, this is really, really good. This is stuff that I can actually learn from as well. So I'm really excited to get it released. I think it's going to be a great resource for anybody that's doing or transitioning into a leadership role, or somebody that has been a leader for a while and just wants to kind of just upskill themselves. But yeah, so hopefully that'll be released soon. I'm really, really excited for that one. The next one got releasing, and this one's going to be completely free, by the way. This is our SEO Interview Blueprint. And yeah, Dars, tell us a bit about what that was, because we all did a lot of work on that.
Yeah, it's basically a lot of candidates sort of get nervous when getting to the interview stage, maybe because it's their dream role, they're really fond of the client, and they go in and they're not themselves. So it's basically just an overall summary of what to do in the interview, how to stand out in such a competitive market, because at the minute, for every role, there's probably at least 10 to 15 really good qualified candidates. So basically make sure you're in the top 1% of them, how to stand out in an interview, and what to do basically to get that job offer.
And even for up the CV, optimizing personal branding and everything.
Well, look, we covered everything in it. A lot of them are basics. Like when we were writing them, we were like, these are basics, but us being firsthand, like we've got interviews going on every single day, chat with loads of candidates, chat with loads of clients, and there's some simple things that you would think are basics that we've kind of put in there. So like Jay recently had a candidate that basically showed up to an interview with let's just say the wrong body language. So yeah, we've kind of put everything in there, from how to optimize your actual CV. I think it's on average an employer looks at a CV for 7 seconds. So you want to make sure that you've done everything to make sure it's perfect. And so what we've done is that it's all tailored towards the SEO industry. So putting SEMrush results into it, putting in your side projects, affiliate links, we've got a whole section on your digital CV, which is LinkedIn. A lot of our clients, one of the first things they ask for is, have they got any side projects that we can go and see their actual SEO ability on? But the second thing is always, what's their LinkedIn? I want to go see if they're debating with people, if they're posting stuff about their own findings, if they're following industry leaders and chatting away to people. Like there's everything in this, from mindset to everything. So
even the basic.
Basic.
I think one thing that you just brought up is there's small things in the SEO blueprint, and as well in the course as well. These are such small things that sometimes we can often overlook when we are just so busy or have our mind focused on one end goal. But from experience, we've seen that these things matter. And in both the blueprint and in the course, there's actually actionable steps and frameworks to help someone through that as well, to get it right. Which is really cool.
100%. Yeah. And that's the thing, and there's we've got a whole resource on 10 to 15 questions to ask your interviewee. It is really packed with a lot of quality stuff, but the idea is you can scroll through that thing 15-20 minutes. So the day before your interview, or even a few hours before, if you just want to make sure everything's getting right, it's all about preparation, it's all about going into the interview, it's about what to do after the interview. But as Dara said, we're not in a candidate driven market anymore. I think the idea of you going, I personally believe it's a philosophy for life, that if you want something, go above and beyond for it. So we've got case studies in there from our top candidates on how they stood out for a job. We've got an example of one of Darius's candidates who went for one of our favorite clients, and it was for an in-house SaaS company, and he went up against 9 people that had in-house SaaS company experience. This guy didn't, and what he did, it's in the blueprint.
Yeah.
You'll see it. What he did, he got the job for it. So we've got little things like that, which I'm really, really excited for. So hopefully, again, we'll be releasing that next week. That'll be completely free. I've done a few LinkedIn posts on it as well. So the people that did comment, they'll get a link straight away. But yeah, hopefully we've got a lot of stuff in that. Going on from that, we have next Thursday, we're in Manchester. So me, Jay, and Darius are going over to Manchester for Chris Simmons and Vicky Simmons's event. I think it's called OMG in Real Life. So it's on the Thursday night for kind of agency leaders and people in SEO. So always excited for that. Always excited to meet up with Chris and Vicky. Great people. Always, I've no doubt, I've never been to one of their events, but I've no doubt that they know how to throw a good event. So I think there's free beer, free food, and they're bringing their dogs. So we get to pet some dogs. So there's no chance that can't be a good night. Then going on forward from that, I'm going over to America for a bit. So I'm going to Austin for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to San Diego for Brighton SEO. Our big man Darius is coming over with us as well. And hopefully, crossing fingers, Craig can come as well. Craig's down in South Africa, so he's really not liking the idea of a 25 to 30 hour flight and being extremely jet lagged. So I'm trying to sell him on it, but I think that'll be really fun. We're partnering with JBH, so Jane Hunt and Andrew Holland and the team, to basically throw a tacos and tequila night on the Wednesday night before the actual events, which would be really fun. So if you guys are going to Brighton SEO in San Diego, come around for some free tequila and tacos. Again, I don't think you can go wrong with tequila or tacos. With that. But yeah, Shreya, I think you've got a few questions to ask us.
Yeah. So the first one is quite a punch, going straight into it. So how do you guys stand out in such, how do SEOs stand out in such a competitive market?
Jay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, of course. So are you referring to going through like an interview stage, like how to stand out, like make a USP? Yeah. As I said in the blueprint, it's going to actually highlight all this. When's blueprint coming out? Monday? Next week. So I've spoke about this on candidate calls, and I just keep on saying it's all going to be in the blueprint. But essentially, standing out as a candidate is huge. Moment, you need to do it now, because if you're going for an interview, and this is first-hand experience, there's say 5 to 10 people on similar levels of experience on paper and CV. So what makes you stand out compared to them? Because at the end of the day, you're all going to be same. The one I love, and we've seen every candidate's done this, has actually went and got the job, was the sharing their screen on an interview and auditing, maybe showing their potential plans of the new company, showing what they would do different, or even the company's website, and giving ideas. Now, listen, like, I'm not saying that your ideas are going to be taken on board, and they may not even be correct, but the confidence to be able to do that and the eagerness to show that you want to improve, it just goes over and above. Every single candidate that has done that with us has ended up getting a job. So it does show something. It is all about USP. Even as simple as showing, like on your CV, you may have your organic traffic. You show your results. As simple as something as showing actual screenshots of the graph from SEMrush. It's so simple. Like, we keep on going back to the basics, and sometimes I actually feel stupid for bringing up the basics. But it's the basics that actually, once you master them, that's what's going to get you put forward. So even as something as simple as sharing screenshots in the interview, that sets you over and above. And then, as Darius mentioned his video in the blueprint, I'll not spoil it too much, but he talks about just showing your own personality. And quite a lot of people are robotic, and they say what they think the interviewer wants to hear, which they're quite often wrong in that. So show a bit of, like, maybe a bit of humor, a bit of confidence. Don't be cocky. Just your own personality shine through. So you're not just another interviewee. You're like, I'm Jay. I'm the one doing the interview. Go remember you for that.
Yeah, and just on one of your points, I'll let you go. But on one of your points about the results, is it? No. Yeah. So about the SEMrush results, I think what we've heard back from client feedback is going in and showing a SEMrush results where something dipped. Oh yeah. And you're actually able to talk about the negative and what you learned from it and what you did forward from it, even if it was a teamwork. Like, the idea of going in and being like, not just showing off your massive wins, but going in and being like, okay, well, look, this dipped here. There was an update that happened here, but what we learned from it was X, Y, and Z. and this is how we counteracted it. I think it's a big one. But yeah, you're right.
I know, like I've said it 1,000 times. I know Josh has said it 1,000 times. I know Jay has posted about it on LinkedIn, but personal side projects has to be the biggest one to set people apart. Doesn't have to. You don't have to have an affiliate site that's making 6 figures a month or anything like that. If you have even a site that's broken, or it doesn't have to have 1,000 URLs in it, but something that people can see you're attempting new things, you're trying out new strategies, you're playing with the algorithm to see what works and what doesn't work, that can set you aside. You can talk about it in the interview, see like, where you went wrong, discuss what you do to fix it the next time and stuff like that. And it just shows clients that you're constantly immersed in the industry. You're constantly trying out new things. You're constantly thinking outside the box and stuff like that.
All right, apologies for that, everybody. But basically, what I was going to say, just on the tips, was I think a big thing going into interviews as well is that there's people that do interviews the same way they talk to the postman at the door. Right? It's not a big deal. It's just like it's every day, whatever. But there's people that go in and look at interviews as the scariest thing they do. I remember being like 18, and I remember going in interviews. Like, you think that your whole life changes once you go into this interview, right? But I think the best way to go in is with the mindset that you're there to make long-term friends. The interviewee that isn't there to they're there to make sure that you're a right fit for the company. They're not there to make that 30 minutes or that 45 minutes a living hell and find out everything there is about you. They're there to basically just make sure there's a right fit for the company. So I think if you go in with the mindset of you're there to, look, even if it doesn't go well, maybe you can use their network. Maybe if you impress them with your personality, whatever, maybe you don't have the experience for it. Maybe you're not a right fit for what they're actually looking at. But maybe they might know a load of people in the industry that they'll be like, well, I really like how driven you are. I really like how passionate you are. I really like how you showed up to the interview. I've got a friend that's actually hiring for maybe a less junior role, maybe a role that fits your actual experience a bit better. I think it's a big one. And then my second thing is, and you guys are sick of me saying it, is building a personal brand. I think the benefits of building a personal brand, and okay, maybe that term is used too much at the minute, but building a LinkedIn profile towards your expertise, I think it's just a trophy case. Like, it's just a win-win. I don't see the negatives in it. The only negative is if you're spending all day, every day on LinkedIn and on Twitter and stuff like that, but like, just don't do that. So again, in our blueprint, we talked about how to actually build that. So what to post, how often to post, how to engage, who to engage with. We've got a whole list of people that are in our industry that are killing it. So yeah, that's my tips on it. Shreya, what were you going to say about Andrew Shotland?
Yeah, so just building off of Darius's point before you had cut off, Andrew Shotland is the CEO of Local SEO Guide. We had him on the webinar last week, Friday, and something that really stood out for me when I was going through that webinar was that he says you get 2 types of SEOs. The normal SEOs that are checklist SEOs that tick the boxes, and that's great. But there's also the other type of SEOs that are driven by curiosity. And he says that he usually tends to gravitate towards those types of SEOs. And in keeping with your point as well, Josh, he actually finds and sort of like fishes out SEOs that he likes to gravitate towards through building their personal brands on LinkedIn and Twitter, going onto podcasts, things like that, and asking questions. You can tell so much about a person's personality from that, where their passions lie, how driven they are. And that's such a unique selling point as well for standing out against competitors, is to just be curious and find that thing that makes you curious. And I think that was such a strong point that Andrew had made. And I think something that would really help SEOs tap into that to make them stand out, which is quite cool.
Was something that me and Darius were on the way to the gym the other day, and I was just talking about how I think for our next hire, we want somebody feet on the ground in Manchester, just because of how many SEO events are going on, like digital marketing events. Honestly, there's like 5 a week, and like the quality of them, I've been to loads of them, are fantastic. I'm a big fan of just going up to people, chatting to them, finding out if we can benefit each other down the line. If we can't, let's have a good conversation and, do you know what I mean? Like, have fun. But basically what I was saying to Darius was, I was at JBH's 10-year birthday party last week, right? And it wasn't really a networking event, but I got to meet some people. And I just said to Darius, I was like, in terms of like everybody looks at networking as like just for business, right? But I said to Darius, I was like, I know me going to that, chatting away with Jane and Andy and Charlie Whitworth and JP and all my other friends within the industry. Like, it's just fun to meet up and chat. And that might not have like a converted like ROIs like straight away that you can say in your head, or go into like events. Like you might not get that ROI that you can hold in your hand and be like, oh, it was worth me coming because I've got this, right? But you just know that putting in the work, keep on doing that it keeps like it'll only benefit your career, only benefit your business. And it was funny because Darius then took that and made it into a cool LinkedIn post yesterday about, what was it, the invisible CV?
Yeah, so basically it's the invisible CV. So everybody's focused on creating the perfect CV, obviously online, colorful and all that, which is perfectly fine. Like, it has to be like that. But what people don't understand is every time you go into the office and you say hello to your team, or even, you know, the canteen lady or anything like that, you're building up your sort of invisible CV. Anytime you jump on a client call and you're being sort of proactive and happy and, you know, engaging with them, you're building up your invisible CV. So when you do come to, or people know that you haven't opened to work on your LinkedIn, people are like, oh, that's so and so. I heard he's really good from XYZ and stuff like that. And it's so much easier to get in with a company and get your name out there and get in for an interview.
Yeah, but even like the work outside of that, so not just obviously being polite and kind, that's great. That's going to build your reputation within the industry. But as well as that, it's like putting in the work behind. So let's just say you're at an interview and someone asks you, like, a question we always ask our candidates, like, how do you stay up to date with the SEO industry? It's changing all the time. Like, if you're able to sit there and list, oh, I listened to this webinar. I mean, you could shout out SEO Career Mastery if you want. But you like jokes aside, there is a lot of value in these webinars that we do. We bring on industry experts. We find out how they got to where they are in their career. Our podcast, Diary of an SEO, like, we sit down with some great industry experts. We ask them how they built their business, how they built the team, how they got there, where they think the SEO industry is going. Like, if you're reading books like Product-Led SEO by Eli Schwartz, if you're following the likes of Andy Holland, who is just putting value out all the time, and you're able to talk about that inside interviews, it just shows that not only are you're not just doing your job to the bare minimum, you're actually passionate about your job. You're passionate about your industry. You want to learn, you want to do better. And that's the people, like as a business owner, that's the people I want to hire. I want to hire people that are not like grind 24/7, have to be outside of the office doing this, but the people that are genuinely interested in sitting down and coming onto a webinar like this, coming on to go into Brighton SEO, go into events, just developing your skills. And a book that Jay just finished, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of my favorite books. One of the chapters in there is sharpening the sword. So it's all about constantly sharpening your skills, constantly trying to get better. And I think that's a great segment to basically bring up in an interview. But yeah. Awesome. Have you got anything else for Shreya, or have you got anything else you want to add to that?
Well, we spoke about it a bit lightly about the events, but I kind of wanted to wrap it up on a bit of a positive note. Are you guys excited for OMG, IRL, and Brighton SEO in San Diego?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm always excited to meet Chris and Vicky. I know that they've got an extreme network. I don't think I've met anybody that doesn't know Chris Simmons. So I'm really, really excited. So Manchester is where I'm based, and that's where the event is. So they're coming up from London for it. So I'm really excited to go and actually meet different agency owners, different people that are in the industry that I might not have met before. So, because I know I think the actual theme of the event is agency owners. So it's not just SEO, it's digital marketing. It's a whole load more of just that. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for you guys to come over. I can't wait. Honestly, like they're sick of hearing it in Manchester. I've been lucky enough to travel and live in the most beautiful places in the world, and for somehow Manchester's just bringing me back. Like, I absolutely love it. So I'm excited to bring Darius and Jay over for it. But yeah, and then Brighton SEO, San Diego, I have got butterflies in my stomach thinking about it. Like, I am so excited for it. Not only we've got quite a lot of our clients are based over in the US, so I'm excited to finally meet them face to face, give them a big hug. But also, just my plan from the start of this year was our company goals were to get into the US market a lot more. And what was cool was when I told Darius that he was coming to the US, I told him on our first interview that was our goal. Our goal is to not just enter into the US market, but get a percentage of it. So it was cool being able to tell Darius that he's coming to San Diego with us. But yeah, like the likes of Carrie Rose, Will Hobson, all of them are going over as well. So it's nice seeing familiar faces, but I'm most excited to meet some new faces. And Americans love Irish charm as well. So I'm excited for it. And for the food and the sun and everything else. But what are you most excited for?
Yeah, we've chatted to, obviously we do quite a lot of work with US companies and stuff like that. So it'd be good to see, we obviously partner with SEOjobs.com, so it'd be good to see people like Nick Leroy and stuff like that actually face to face for the first time. Yeah, just get out there and meet some more clients. I'm so excited for it.
I'm excited back at home.
Yeah, I think there's going to be so much. Like, I know we like use this word like in a company in an office setting like osmosis, but like we're so used to like the like, I mean, when I came over to Manchester, you know, it was like breaking that cultural barrier and being like, okay, cool, these are the guys I actually work with and I talk to, and like these are the people I have on LinkedIn that I've talked to, and like like having that breakthrough connection. It's going to be very exciting and a milestone for us to also go over to America and have that experience, which is going to be quite an exciting chapter for us. But yeah, awesome. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to add?
Yeah, just an update on our roles. So as I mentioned, we've had a few new clients recently. We've got quite a big client around the Manchester, Chester, and Leeds area. So we're looking for a head of SEO, we're looking for an account director, an account manager. We're looking for an SEO assistant in Manchester. It's going to be hybrid. And I won't give it away, but yeah, the guy who owns this company has come from head of SEO at a big company. He's very, very well known in the industry. So the actual mentorship and training that's going to be available for this is off the charts. We've got a few roles in the US that are coming through hopefully the end of next week. So we'll be able to put a lot more up. But if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, every week we put out our roles, and then Shred does the lovely job of basically transcribing and getting the best bits of our webinar and putting them into our newsletter. And like, even for somebody that watches the webinar when I'm not on it, when the team are on it, I love going through that and just seeing the actual bullet points of what the best things is that the people that have come on and the team talked about. Because we're getting some really, really good people on the webinar as well. And we've got a really nice line going forward. So yeah, overall, I'm really, really excited for the future of SEO for Hire. I'm really excited for the future of the SEO industry. It was just very black and white for the last few months of people getting scared. But I've got a nice good feeling that it's about to take off again. So stay tuned to SEO for Hire. Follow us all on LinkedIn, our personal accounts as well. And yeah, we're always constantly putting tips out on how to stand out, how to excel your career, and all the jobs that we have at the minute. So yeah, that's everything from me. Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting. And I hope everyone has a great weekend ahead. And yeah, we'll chat soon.
Happy weekend, everyone. Thank you.